It was very early in the morning when the police in Edo State, Nigeria, got a call that an accident has happened along the Sapele Road in Edo State. When they already went there, they found out that it was a burnt car. And when they opened the car, they could see a man called Mr. Victor in the car. They were surprised. Immediately, the police had to trace the family of Mr. Victor. Friends, before we continue, can you support me by clicking the subscribe button, liking this video, and sharing this video to your loved one? It happened that Mr. Victor is married to this very beautiful woman, Mrs. Enobong. They were happily married for over 10 years and they have 2 children. As at this time, Mr. Victor was doing very well for himself because he was a top engineer in an oil company in Benin City. Mr. Victor had a very tight schedule that he hardly sees family members. So on that particular day, Mr. Victor came back to the house and his wife came to meet him. "Honey, welcome. You are welcome. I have a very good news I need to tell you." And Mr. Victor said, "What is the good news? I'm very tired. Please leave me alone." But his wife was like, "No, honey, I have a very good news to tell you. I am pregnant." And Mr. Victor feels changed and he frowned. "What do you say? You are pregnant? I can't remember when last I have intercourse with you." And you must say, "How will you say that, my husband? I am pregnant. The child is yours." And Mr. Victor said, "That child is not mine because I can't remember when last both of us have anything to do together." There and there, Mr. Victor had to call the family members. Family members came around. They discussed the issue. And this became a very, very strong issue because Mr. Victor could remember that he don't have intercourse with his wife often because he's always going to work. His wife kept insisting that the pregnancy is his. After much deliberation, the family members had to come to a verdict about what will happen. Then they told Mr. Victor that, "Do you know what? When this child is born, we are going to do a DNA test. And this DNA test is going to confirm who definitely owns this child." You could see the way his wife behaved. She frowned her face like maybe she is guilty of what this man is saying. But we can't say. Let's continue with the story. They all went on with their daily activities. Life kept going on. But this particular early morning, on a Saturday morning, a news came to the house that Mr. Victor is dead. What happened? They found him burnt in his car and he was almost burnt without requisition. Immediately, the police went to Mr. Victor's house where they met his wife. On meeting the wife, they started investigating. They asked the wife a lot of questions, but the wife could not answer straightforward. So they had to invite the wife to the police station. During the course of the investigation, they noticed that the wife has withdrawn the sum of over 4 million naira from the account. And also, Mr. Victor's main car has gone missing. And this actually rose a lot of suspicion. A man who just died, not quite long, his car is missing and his wife went to withdraw the sum of 4 million naira from his account. And that is the reason why they apprehended her and started investigating her. During the investigation, the police traced that car to a house and they found that the car was parked somewhere in Benin City there. The investigation went on and they got to find out that that car was parked there by the pastor of Mrs. Enobong, which is Pastor Udoka. The police had to look for Pastor Udoka, and after a lot of search, they were able to arrest Pastor Udoka. Now the investigation began. "Pastor Udoka, how come do we have late engineer's car in your compound?" And Pastor Udoka was like, "Engineer Victor's wife, Mrs. Enobong, came to meet him in the house and said that she wanted to sow the car as seed to the church. And initially, he said he never wanted to accept the gift. But she insisted and said that, 'Pastor, I am bringing this gift to you as a seed.' And that is the reason why he accepted it." Then the police asked another question. "Then why is the papers of the car not in the right name? Why is the paper in a new name?" And he said, "It's a gift from a member. And anytime a member sows a seed, we have to do the due diligence so that we can actually write this car. We can actually be able to carry this car out without being stopped by the police." At this point, the police were not aware of the issue of pregnancy rejection. One of the family members of Mr. Victor came to the police station and told them that before now, Mr. Victor and his wife are having issues about pregnancy. And that shows that his wife may have a motive. Then the police have to intensify their investigation. During the investigation, Mr. Udoka said yes, he was the one who unalived the man. And I said, "What happened?" And he said, on a fateful day, Mrs. Enobong came to meet him and tell him that, Pastor, my husband already know about us, and I don't know what to do again. He feels that this child is not his, and that is why they had a plan. Very early in the morning, when the man was going to work, the pastor, Pastor Udoka, went to wait for the man on the road and pretended he needed a lift. The man seeing the pastor was like, okay, fine, come on, because Pastor Udoka is like a family pastor today. This is a pastor they already know before now. Mr. Victor did not insist. Immediately, he told the pastor to up him and started their journey. On the way, during their journey, that is when Pastor Udoka hit Mr. Victor with something sharp. After all this confession, Pastor Udoka and Mrs. Enobong was sentenced to death by hanging. But unfortunately, these two ended up not being dead. Why? The reason is that during the end-SARS protests in Nigeria, the pastor escaped from prison. And until today, the whereabouts of the pastor is not known. But for Ms. Enobong, Engineer Victor's wife, she actually pleaded her case in the Court of Appeal. The case was rejected. Then she moved on to Supreme Court, where she was acquitted of all charges and set free. Friends, I want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this case? Do you think that these people are supposed to be roaming out freely, or do you think they were supposed to go down for the crime they committed? Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button, like this video, and share this video to your loved ones. Thank you very much. Until I see you in my next video.